Hi everybody, welcome back to this week's My Weekly Rage Fix. This week's Parsha is Parshas Vayigash. And in Parshas Vayigash we finally get to the climactic ending where Joseph finally reveals himself to his brothers. And he says, I am Joseph, was my father still alive? They're in shock. And but his chief interest is how is his father Yaakov, his father Jacob, doing back in Egypt, back in Israel. And to make the story a little shorter, just to get to our point today, the brothers calm down. There was a nice, wonderful reunion, and then he sends them back to Israel to go bring their father down. And he sends along bread and grain and all different food that they needed. And he also sent what the Torah says, the best of Egypt, he sent on a bunch of donkeys towards his father. And what is the best of Egypt? So our sages tell us that the best of Egypt was the best type of wine. Nice, really good wine. I'm not a wine connoisseur, so I technically don't get it myself. But for all you wine people out there, you certainly understand. But even in general, once upon a time, wine was the drink. And Raje brings down, it's good for the elderly, it's good for their mind. But Joseph and Jacob weren't simple people that they just needed a good swig. So what was he trying to intimate to his father? So there's many answers to this question. I actually heard from my friend Reb Shlomo Zalman Bregman. He says in his short and sweet book, it's a very good book, he says that Joseph was trying to intimate to Yaakov that the son you're going to meet is still the same. Yes, I became Viceroy over the entire land of Egypt, and I've lived here for a while, but my insides haven't changed. And like the expression goes, don't judge a book by its cover. And in Hebrew, that book is Al tistakel b'kankan el b'ma sheyesh bo. Don't look at the jug, but rather look what's inside the jug. So here he was sending him a whole bunch of really good wine, and the barrels may have been good Egyptian barrels. So Joseph was intimating to Jacob. He says, you're going to see these barrels of wine and think that I've become all Egyptian, but I just want you to know that it's really the old wine, meaning the old is really who I still am. I'm not this new version, this new Egyptian version. When you come down to Egypt, you'll see that I'm still that original person. And it's a lesson for us also. You know, Joseph was living in exile, and exile certainly has its trials and tribulations, as we all know. And we can look different. We can look different. We can act different. But ultimately, we're going to be able to say to Hashem one day, don't necessarily judge me for my outwardly appearance, but Hashem is really going to say, what does your soul look like? Who are you on the inside? What did you stand for? Usually, hopefully, by most people, the outside should represent what they stand for on the inside. But a subliminal plea that we in exile have towards Hashem is that don't necessarily judge me at the outside. The outside is just what I look like because of the position that I'm in, but rather please judge me for what's on the inside. So hopefully we all have good insides. Those insights bring us closer to Hashem. Have a wonderful Shabbos. I will talk to you next week.